Bright Tuty. Every student matters.
Hello dear students, welcome to another lecture. Now in this class we are going to learn about the adverb clauses. Now in my previous lectures I have already told you about the noun clauses, about the adjective clauses. So now we shall learn about the adverb clauses. Now, first of all, we all know that an adverb is a word that tells us something more about the noun or the pronoun in the sentence. That is an adverb, right? So, a clause which is serving the purpose of an adverb in the sentence is an adverb clause. Now, let us look at more information about the adverb clauses. Now, adverb clause is a subordinate clause. Obviously, we know that. Since it is a subordinate clause, or rather, just the fact that it is a clause, it has a subject and it has a predicate of its own. But the reason why this clause is known as an adverb clause is because it does the work of an adverb. It modifies the meaning of a verb, an adjective, or another adverb. So it will either tell us something about the verb in the sentence, or about the adjective in the sentence, or about another adverb in the sentence. So if my adverb clause is serving the purpose of an adverb in the sentence, it will either give me more information about the verb, or about the adjective, or about the adverb itself. Now look at the following examples. She came yesterday. When did she come? Yesterday. Right? I'm getting the answer in just one word. So that is my adverb, yesterday. She came when it was dark. My question here remains the same. When? The only difference is in the answers that I get. Here my answer was yesterday, which is an adjective. Here my answer is when it was dark. So it is an adverb clause. Look at the second set of examples. Stop here. You're giving a command. Where should you stop? Here. Stop where the red light is. So where do you have to stop? Where the light is red. So in the first sentence, the answer was just one word, which is here. In the second sentence, my answer is where the light is red. Third set of sentence. The sum was very difficult. How was the sum? It was difficult. This is an adverb. The work was so difficult that none did it. So difficult that none did it. So here I am describing how was the work. So difficult that none did it. So first sentence, just one word, difficult, is describing the work. And the second sentence, there are a group of words. There is a clause which is describing. So that is an adverb clause. Look at the fourth set of sentence. They fought very bravely. How did they fight? Bravely. Okay. They fought so bravely that the enemy fled. And how did they fight? So bravely that the enemy fled. Fled means ran away. So they fought so bravely that the enemy ran away. So in all these four set of sentences that we read, the first sentence tells us about the adverb that is being used to answer my question. When, where, how. While in the second sentence, we are using a clause to give us more information about when or where or how did something take place. Now, clauses can be classified. They can be differentiated on the basis of time, okay, Adverb is something that tells us. Since we are talking about adverb clauses, so automatically we are considering adverbs. So the adverb clauses tell us about the time when something was done, the place where something was done, the purpose, why was something done, what was the cause or the reason that something was done, the condition on which something was done, the result or the effect or the consequence of something that was done, the comparison of degree or manner or the extent of something that was done, and a contrast or a supposition when you suppose something that was done. So these 8 are the categories in which we can divide our adverb clauses, and we shall learn about each of these 8 categories. First, let us talk about the adverb clause of time. As the name suggests, time is what we are talking about. So they are always going to begin with these subordinating conjunctions such as when, as soon as, while, before, until, after, since, whenever, so long as long as, the moment, till, just, as, etc. So since we are talking about the time, so we are going to use since we are talking about time, we are going to use those subordinating conjunctions which indicate towards time, such as when, as soon as, while, before, until, after, since, and so on and so forth. Let us look at the examples. I reached the station after the train left. What is my verb in the sentence? Reached. And when did I reach the station? After the train had left. This is what? My adverb clause. Look at the second sentence. Do not step out of the train or bus until it stops. What am I not supposed to do? We are not supposed to step out of the train or the bus. Till when? Until it stops. So, until it stops is my adverb clause. Third sentence. When you are old, nobody will serve you. When will nobody serve you? When you are old. So, when you are old is my adverb. As soon as I heard the news of the accident, I rushed to the spot. When did I rush to the spot? As soon as I heard the news of the accident. So, this is my adverb clause of time. Just as I entered the office, the clock struck 10. When did the clock struck 10? Just as I entered the office. So my adverb clause of time. No sooner did she see us than she disappeared. When did she disappear? No sooner did she see us. Next, do not talk while you are eating. When should we not talk? While you are eating. So in all the sentences that I have read out to you, since I am talking about time, I am asking the question when. And the answers that I am getting to my question when are beginning with a subordinate conjunction like after the train left, or until, or when, or as soon as, just as, no sooner, while. So these are the adverb clauses of time which indicate when an action took place, and the adverb clause will begin with a subordinate conjunction. Let us look at the second type of adverb clause, which is the adverb clause of place. Since I'm talking about the place, what is the question that I shall ask? Where? These adverb clauses of place begin with subordinating conjunctions such as where, wherever, whither, or whence. So whence, whither, wherever, and where. For example, I have put the bubble gum where no one can find it. Where have I put the bubble gum? Where no one can find it. He makes friends wherever he goes. Where does he make friends? Wherever he goes. Where there is will, there is a way. Where is a way? Where is a way? Where there is a will. People welcomed the president wherever he went. Where did the people welcome the president? Wherever he went, he was welcomed. The wandering beggar goes wherever he pleases. Where does the wandering beggar go? Wherever he pleases, wherever he wants to. So I'm asking the question where, if I have to identify the adverb clause of place, and the answer that I get is beginning with a subordinate conjunction like where, whether, whither, whence, or wherever. Okay. Let us look at the third type of my adverb clause, which is of purpose. Now, purpose. Why did something take place, or why will something happen? Now, these are used or introduced with the subordinating conjunctions such as that, lest. Lest means otherwise, so that, in order that, etc. Lest is otherwise. Okay. We take exercise so that we may become strong. Why do we exercise? So that we may become strong. So I know the purpose of exercising. That is my adverb clause of purpose. Work hard lest you should fail. What is the purpose of working hard? Otherwise, you will fail. If you will not work hard, you will fail. This is the purpose of working hard. Misers save in order that they may grow rich. Misers, those people who spend every penny of money after a lot of thinking. Okay. So what is the purpose for the saving of the misers? In order that they may grow rich. They save because they think that this way they will grow rich. So we know the purpose of the savings of the miser. We eat that we may live. What is the purpose of us eating? That we may live. So, adverb clause of purpose is that clause which tells us about the purpose behind some action that took place, and that is going to begin with subordinating conjunctions such as that, lest, so that, in order that, and so on. The next type of adverb clause is the adverb clause of cause or reason. As the title in itself is suggested, when you are telling the cause of something or the reason of something, we use the adverb clause of cause or reason. And these clauses are introduced using the conjunctions, subordinating conjunctions such as, since, because, that, and so on and so forth. As he was feeling ill, he went home. What was the cause or what was the reason that he went home? He was feeling ill. So, as he was feeling ill, he went home. I am glad that you have come. What is the reason for my gladness? That you have come. Now, that equals to because means, as you can see here also, In few sentences for because, that is used. In few sentences for because, who is used, and because it, which is used. Okay. Since you are my friend, I shall help you. What is the reason for me to help you? Since you are my friend. He could not attend the birthday party because he was indisposed. He was not well. So what was the reason for him not attending the birthday party? Because he was indisposed. Okay. So those adverbs or those clauses which tell us the cause or the reason behind some action, they are known as adverb clause of cause or reason, and they begin with the subordinating conjunction such as, since, because. Let us move ahead to the next type of adverb clause, which is the adverb clause of condition. Now, again, the title is very well, it is self-understood. When you are placing a condition for some action to take place, that is the adverb clause of condition. And what are the subordinating conjunctions that we use to talk about the adverb clause of condition? If, whether, in case, as if, provided, or provided that, so long as, etc. For example, if it rains, we shall stay home. What is the condition for me to stay home? If it rains. This is my condition. I shall sing provided that you join me. What is the condition for me to sing? Provided that you join me. This is the condition. So, adverb clause of condition. As the principal was not there, I spoke to the clerk. What was the condition for me to speak to the clerk? As the principal was not there. This was the condition why I spoke to the clerk. Unless we put in our best, we shall not win the World Cup. What is the condition for us not to win the World Cup? Unless we put in our best. In case you miss the train, send me a telegram. What is the condition for me to send you a telegram? If in case I miss my train. So those adverb clauses which tell us about the condition that needs to be followed when something takes place, they are known as adverb clauses of condition. Let us look at the next type of adverb clauses now. Adverb clause of result or effect or consequence. When you talk about the result of something or the effect of something or the consequence of something. Now, what are the subordinating conjunctions that we use for such adverbs? Which is often preceded by so or such in the principal clause. These are introduced by those subordinating conjunctions in which is preceded by so or such. Preceded means before. In which you have to use which before by so or such. For example, he is so poor that he cannot study further. So, what is the effect or result or the consequence of him being poor? That he cannot study further. Okay? So hot was it that many died. So hot was it that many died. What is the effect of it being so hot? That many died. Our new teacher speaks in such a low voice that very few of us can follow him. What is the consequence or the result of the low voice of your teacher's words? That very few of us can follow. He worked so hard that he won the scholarship. What was the result of him working so hard? That he won the scholarship. So you see, the result or the effect or the consequence of something was being spoken about. The next type of adverb clause is the adverb clause of comparison. Now, the adverb clause of comparison is further subdivided into two parts. The adverb clause of comparison of degree or the adverb clause of comparison of manner. Let us first talk about the adverb clause of degree. We all know than, as, much as, no less than. These are the words that we usually use. We have all learnt about the degrees of comparison, right? Than, as tall as, no less taller than. So these are a few words that we use in case of the degrees of comparison. So same is the case here. We are going to use the same subordinating conjunctions. For example, she is taller than her brother. What is the comparison of degree? Than her brother. He is not so stupid as you think. What is the degree of comparison? As you think. You eat as much as she eats. Degrees of comparison, as much as she eats. The next type of adverb that we have under this category is the comparison of manner. And what do we use when we have to use the adverb clause in case of comparison of manner? They are introduced by a relative adverb. What are the relative adverbs that are going to introduce the adverb clauses of comparison of manner? As if, as though, as far as, so far, etc. For example, as you sow, so shall you reap. What is the comparison of manner? As you sow, so shall you reap. Second sentence, if you look at, as far as I know, she's an excellent teacher. So as far as I know, she is an excellent teacher. The higher we go, the cooler it is. So the higher we go, what is the comparison of manner? The cooler it is. The next sentence it says, you may do as you please. How you may do? As you please. So this is how we identify between the degree of comparison and the comparison of manner. Now, it has been told to you very clearly that the verb of the adverb clause of comparison is often understood and is not expressed. When we talk about the verb in the adverb clause of comparison of manner, the verb may not be clearly stated because it is understood and it is not important for you to write it. For example, he works no less than anybody else. I should have written he does his work no less than anybody else, but that is not required. I can easily skip does. Nobody knows it better than I. Even if I don't write do, that's perfectly fine. Nobody knows it better than I do. I like her more than you. Even if I don't write even more than you like her, that is okay. He is more energetic than I. Again, if I don't write and, that does not make much of a difference. She is taller than her sister. So even if I don't write, she is taller than her sister is. So I can easily skip is. So, even if we don't write the verb in the adverb clause of comparison of degree, that will not make much of a difference. The last type, the last category of the adverb clause is the adverb clause of supposition or contrast. When you are contrasting, when some things or two things which are opposite or contrasting in nature are being described with the help of an adverb clause, they are the adverb clauses of supposition or contrast. What are the subordinating conjunctions that we use? Though, although, as, even if, however. For example, though he is poor, he is honest. What is the contrast? Though he is poor. I shall be able to reach school in time, although I have no conveyance. Conveyance, no vehicle. What is the contrast? How can I be able to reach school on time, although I have no conveyance? Even if it rains, I shall attend my extra classes. What is the contrast that I am making? That even if it rains, I will attend my extra classes. However hard you may try, you cannot win this game. So you cannot win this game. What is the contrast? However hard you may try. So you see, adverb clauses of supposition or contrast are those adverb clauses that talk about some contrasting features in the same sentence. So we've learned about the 8 types of adverb clauses. We have time, we have place, we have manner, then we have cause, we have effect, we have supposition, we have degrees of comparison, we have contrast. So these were the 8 different types of adverbs along with their examples that we learned in this chapter. Let us look at the exercises. Pick out the adverb clauses and state whether of which kind it is. Again, we'll do the first 10. I am so tired that I can hardly walk. I am so tired that I can hardly walk. So this is simply telling us about the manner. Okay, so what is the manner or this one is telling us about the result or the consequence of you being tired, that you can hardly walk. So this is the effect or the consequence. He knows as much as I told him. As much as I told him is my adverb, right? The third sentence. We must work that we may pass. What is my adverb clause? That we may pass. I shall purchase this book provided it is cheap. Okay, I'm so sorry, I forgot to write the manner, the type. So he knows as much as I told him. So this is what? How much does he know? As much as I told him. So again, you can say that this is the adverb clause of manner. We must work that we may pass. What is it? The result. You should work this much that you may pass. I shall purchase this book provided it is cheap. This is a contrast. This is a condition that you are placing. Just as I went to bed, the clock struck 11. When did the clock struck 11? Just as I went to bed. So this is time. She walked slowly lest she should stumble. Lest she should stumble. Why did she walk slowly? Otherwise, she would fall. So manner. The children danced while the piper played. While? So this tells us about what? While. Okay. So this is about the time. He cried with joy as if he had been elected. So he cried with joy. Why did he cry, or what was the supposition? You can, actually assume here. He was supposing that he had been elected. That is why he started crying. As he was ill, he could not attend the office. As he was ill. So this is what you are telling, the effect or the cause of something. Why could he not attend the office? Because he was ill. Because you have done this, I shall punish you. So what is the cause of me punishing you? Because you have done this. So similar manner, you have to identify the adverb clauses in the rest of the sentences and tell us what they are. Now again, you have to complete the sentences using the suitable adverb clause. He makes friends so that he may go out. This is the condition. Dash, do as the Romans do. We can say, learn to sing as the Romans do. He put the clock on the shelf so that he may see the time or see the time properly. Dash, you will fail. Work hard. Lest you will fail. Look where he is going. So again, there are multiple ways in which we can fill the sentences, and you can fill them as per your discretion. So with this, my dear students, we come to the end of this chapter, which talked about the adverb clauses and its different categories. And I hope it is clear to you. So I shall see you all now in my next lecture. Thank you.